Good morrow to you, and welcome to the Baron's News Desk, covering the latest happenings and goings-on in the world of tabletop card gaming. The following information comes from the Wizards Play Network website. Now, despite this article being posted on October the 21st, I believe it has been mostly overlooked due to the hubbub about the bannings in Standard and the announcement of the new Magic the Gathering format of Pioneer. However, as a mostly Commander player, I find this article more interesting than either of those previous subjects. For those that might not be aware, Theros Beyond Death is the name of the next Magic the Gathering set that shall be released in the month of January 2020. However, beginning with this article, we now have a detailed timeline of events relevant to Theros Beyond Death, starting with October the 21st. Now, there are indeed some very important pieces of information shared here, and actually, as I will speculate, some pieces of information that were not shared. On October 21st, the scheduling window opened. On October 24th, it was the initial allocation email. This is typically where distributors and retailers will get an estimation of the number of products that shall be available for them to procure. November 15th is the pre-release allocation and preferred distributor locked. Additionally, it is the promo pack allocation, also locked. This is likely the point where many members of the MTG finance community will begin their speculation as to the print run of the set and how much they should procure based on that printing. If it's speculated that the print runs are low, it is likely that they will be looking to secure as much product as possible right out the gate. That way, resellers can sell the product for an inflated price while they wait for Wizards of the Coast to perhaps do a second run of printing to meet demand. November 19th is the final allocation email, which should give a rather solid number as to what the retailers, especially the local game stores, can expect to get in the way of product. Nearly a month passes, and then on December 16th begins the Digital Marketing Assets Wave 1, Key Art, Logo, Booster Box Product Shot, Marketing Kit Delivery for North America and Latin America. And this is the date you want to mark on your calendars, commoners. December 30th is when they begin the previews of the cards from the set. Now we are into the new year of 2020. On January 6th, it is the Digital Marketing Assets Wave 2, Product Shots, Web and Social Media Assets, and Posters. Now, traditionally, the month of January is rather soft for retailers coming off of the Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa holiday corridor. However, in the world of Magic the Gathering, that basically translates to the fact that there will be less competition for the customer's dollar during the month. January 13th marks the Digital Marketing Asset Wave 3, including the deck checklist, additional web, and social assets. This is most significant as it marks the date that the entire card list for the complete set should be spoiled at this point. January the 14th, 2020, marks the promo pack and buy a box delivery, including tracking info for North America, and marketing kit delivery for Europe, APAC, and Japan. And for those that might not be aware, APAC is somewhat of an acronym for Asia Pacific. And yet another crucial date, January 17th through the 19th, marks the pre-release weekend. As I have mentioned many times before, pre-releases are one of my favorite events. I rarely attend the actual release, but the pre-releases are always so exciting, seeing as we get to hold these cards in our hand for the first time, and we are on an equal playing field with all other Magic players. I relish the opportunity to return to my home subsequent to the pre-release to look at my commander decks to see if any of the cards I have procured would slot in quite nicely. Precisely. January the 24th marks the release weekend. Now, in the past, this has traditionally meant that you are unable to buy full booster boxes, or at least pick them up until the release date. However, with Throne of Eldraine, I seem to have noticed that many players were able to procure their complete booster boxes during the pre-release weekend. January the 25th and 26th marks the draft weekend. February 1st to the 2nd marks the open house. And finally, February the 22nd through the 23rd marks the Magic Weekend Pioneer. Little is known as to what the Magic Weekend Pioneer will actually entail at this point. However, it is likely that if you choose to play the Pioneer format at your local game store, that you will be receiving some additional prize support. This is where you're likely to see some of those promo packs that were discussed earlier. And finally, it makes mention of Ikoria, Lair of Behemoth's pre-release. While no dates are attached to this marketing beat, it is rather interesting that they have chosen to promote a second product within this timeline. WotC certainly never misses an opportunity to keep the hype train a-rolling. Now again, as primarily a Commander player, I have not been as excited for a standard format set since Dominaria. The previous Theros block gave us some absolutely fantabulous cards for the Commander format, of course most notable, the gods themselves. Why, it is almost assured that we are likely to see either reprints or new versions of these gods in this set, and I for one cannot wait to see how many of these new cards will turn the format on its head. And what of your thoughts, Commodores? Are you equally as enthralled with the idea of Theros Beyond Death? Did you attend any pre-releases for the previous Theros block? If so, how do you believe they could improve upon the set's theme and mechanics? Be sure to like and subscribe, and view many of my entertaining and informative videos here on Arista Cards. Until next time, cheers!